Hey everyone, it's time for your Monday Daily Trucker News Update. I'm Brittany Joyner.
And I'm Carlin Stafford. We have a lot of news to cover today, including which famous truck stop is hosting a vaccine clinic, how much DOT fines have increased in 2021, and what the National Truck Driving Championship looks like this year.
So let's get trucking.
The Iowa 80 truck stop Hy-Vee Pharmacy will offer COVID-19 vaccine clinics starting today. They are open to anyone 18 and older and will be on the third floor of the main building at Iowa 80. Both the Pfizer and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine shots will be offered. The dates are today, May 10th, 2 to 4 p.m., Wednesday, May 13th, through Saturday, the 15th, 5 to 8 p.m. each day. Now, to make an appointment, you can visit the Iowa 80 website or give the Hy-Vee Pharmacy a call. Walk-ins are also welcome.
The United Auto Workers strike at Volvo's New River Valley truck assembly plant has ended after a 2-week work stoppage. The parties reached a tentative 5-year agreement. The details are being withheld until UAW members can be briefed before the vote in the coming days. If approved, the contract will cover about 2,900 plant employees. The plant employs more than 3,300 people and is using a $400 million investment for advancement in technology upgrades, site expansion, and preparation for future products. The plant has added 1,100 jobs since the current union agreement in 2016 and is on track to have 600 more positions in 2021, according to Volvo.
You know, I know that truck manufacturers are kind of having a hard time right now anyway, just because of the supply shortage, but add on top of a strike, I'm sure it was probably a nightmare for everyone at Volvo.
Yeah, combined craziness is going on over there.
I'm glad that they can come to an agreement though, and things are moving forward, hopefully smoothly. So
Yes.
we'll see what happens in the coming years.
Yeah,
or
we'll
coming
keep
days
you
first.
updated.
Well, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration Medical Review Board will look at the vision standard for truck drivers at its next meeting, May 19th and 20th. The virtual meeting is open to the public. The board will evaluate comments from a proposed rulemaking from January. If finalized, that rule would allow drivers who cannot meet either the current distant visual acuity or field of vision standard, or both, in one eye to be physically qualified to operate a commercial vehicle. Currently, these drivers can't without an exemption from the FMCSA. Now, the board will also conduct a review of the medical assessment form for CMV drivers with non-insulin dependent diabetes. If you want to take part in the meeting, you can. You can register in advance, but that's not a requirement.
For the second time this year, the FMCSA, along with other Department of Transportation agencies, is updating fines for violations of federal trucking regulations for inflation. These increases are required by law, and the new fine amounts are effective immediately. To find the 2021 adjustment amount, the DOT had to multiply penalty amount by the percentage change between October 2020, the consumer price of October 2020, and the October 2019 index, which means for 2021, all fines were increased by 1.02%.
Last week we had the CVSA road check and they look for violations. And of course we're going to have DOT inspections coming up and all that fun stuff. More reason with increased fines to make sure everything is in tip-top shape.
Yes, keep all of the ducks in a row. Just have them ready, you know, and so just to cover yourself.
Exactly. Make sure everything is good to go. You're not going to fail anything because you don't want to pay more money on fines. That's a pretty big increase. 1.02% doesn't seem like much until you're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
That's the difference of like, you know, $50 to $100 sometimes.
Right. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
For sure. Well, check this out. A friend of the Truck Boss Show, Ed Miller, who is a former driver, carrier, operator, and safety man, has his memoir featured by Amazon. A Trucker's Tale, Wit, Wisdom, and True Stories from 60 Years on the Road is part of Amazon's Kindle Monthly Deals program. Through the 30th, you can snag the book on any Kindle device for just $1.99. You can also find our interview with him on the Truck Boss Show YouTube. Just search Ed Miller.
And finally, the Trucking Association's National Truck Driving Championship will be a bit different this year. It's going viral. Beginning July 31st, the state rounds will be trivia contests and questions about driving facts, federal and state laws, and state trucking history and culture. Prize rounds are going to be on August 11th through the 13th, and the National Battle of the States will take place on August 14th. How cool is that, Carlin? That's going to be fun.
Very cool. You know, they can't necessarily have the in-person competition, but let's make it virtual and let's battle it out between the states. How cool is that?
And you maybe don't have to look at each other too. So you can just be like, ooh.
There you go.
You know, I'm quicker on my feet sometimes.
Right, when you're by yourself and not have the eyes on you. Yeah, that makes sense.
The eyes aren't all on you.
Well, that does it for today's update.
Tune in tomorrow for all the trucking news you need.